These true stories are so disturbing, some people refuse to ever talk about them again. Late at night, when everything is quiet, that's when the unexplainable begins. These are 7 terrifying true stories, part 2. Real experiences from real people that still don't have answers. And trust me, the last story is the one that made people stop recording completely. #Ghost Story 1. The voice in the walls, it started as a small noise, something easy to ignore. A faint tapping sound inside the walls of Daniel's apartment. At first, he thought it was just pipes. Old buildings made noise all the time, but this was different, because the tapping had a pattern: 3 knocks, pause, 3 knocks again every night. Around the same time, 2:13 a.m., Daniel tried to ignore it for days until one night it changed. Instead of knocking, it spoke. At first, it was too quiet to understand. A low whisper muffled by the walls. Daniel sat up in bed, heart pounding. "Hello," he called out. The whisper stopped. Silence. Then, clearer this time, right behind the wall near his bed. "Let me out." Daniel froze. He stared at the wall, waiting, hoping it was just his imagination. But then it came again, slower, more deliberate. "Let me out." He jumped out of bed and turned on the lights. The room was empty. The walls looked normal. No cracks, no openings, nothing. The next morning, Daniel told his landlord. The man's expression changed immediately. "Which unit are you in?" he asked. 3B, Daniel replied. The landlord went quiet. Then said, "You're not the first to complain." Daniel felt his stomach drop. "What do you mean?" The landlord hesitated. Then explained, years ago, someone had been trapped inside the walls during a renovation accident. They were never found in time. Daniel moved out that same week. But before he left, he heard it one last time, not from the wall, but from inside his room, right behind him. "You almost helped me." #Ghost Story 2. The last bus stop, it was past midnight when Olivia missed her ride home. The campus was nearly empty. Only one bus line was still running. She walked to the nearest stop. Streetlights flickered above her. The air felt colder than usual. She checked her phone. No signal, of course. Typical. A few minutes passed. Then she noticed something. Someone was already there, sitting on the bench. A man, head down, completely still. Olivia hesitated, but decided to sit on the far end. The silence felt heavy. Uncomfortable. "Long night?" she asked, trying to break the tension. No response. She glanced at him. His head hadn't moved. His body hadn't moved. Nothing. That's when she noticed he wasn't breathing, at least not visibly. Olivia stood up slowly, stepped back. The bus arrived. She rushed inside without looking back, sat near the driver. As the bus pulled away, she glanced out the window. The man was gone. The bench was empty. "Did you see that guy at the stop?" she asked the driver. The driver didn't answer. Just stared straight ahead. After a few seconds, he said quietly, "You shouldn't talk to anyone at that stop." Olivia felt a chill run down her spine. "Why?" The driver hesitated. Then said that stop was closed years ago. #Ghost Story 3. The apartment above Kevin had just moved into a new apartment. Top floor, cheap rent, too cheap, but he didn't question it. At first, everything was normal, until the footsteps started. Late at night, around 1 a.m., slow footsteps back and forth right above his ceiling. Kevin frowned. That didn't make sense. He lived on the top floor. There was no one above him. He ignored it the first night, the second night, but by the third night, the footsteps became louder, heavier. Like someone was walking directly over his bedroom. He grabbed a broom, knocked on the ceiling. "Hey, keep it down!" The footsteps stopped instantly. Silence. Kevin relaxed, finally. But then a knock came back, from above, 3 times, slow, heavy. Kevin stared at the ceiling, frozen. Then the footsteps started again, faster this time, running back and forth. Until suddenly they stopped directly above him. And something dropped, hard, right above his bed. Kevin jumped back, heart racing. The ceiling cracked slightly, dust falling down. He grabbed his phone, called the landlord immediately. "Is there another unit above me?" he asked. The landlord paused, then said no. Kevin didn't sleep that night. And what he discovered the next day was far worse. Kevin didn't wait. The next morning, he went straight to the landlord's office. "You told me there's nothing above my unit," Kevin said. The landlord nodded. "There is." "Then why do I hear footsteps every night?" Kevin snapped. The landlord didn't answer right away. Instead, he reached into a drawer and pulled out a set of old building blueprints. Yellowed, worn, he spread them across the table. "This building is older than you think," he said quietly. Kevin leaned closer. At first, everything looked normal. Apartments, hallways, stairwells, but then there was a section above Kevin's unit. A small, unmarked space. No label, no door, nothing. "What is that?" Kevin asked. The landlord hesitated. "That shouldn't be there." Kevin felt a chill. "What do you mean it shouldn't be there?" The landlord sighed. "According to the official plans, it doesn't exist." That night, Kevin made a decision. He was going to find out what was above him, no matter what. Around midnight, Kevin grabbed a flashlight and a step ladder. He stared at the ceiling, the same spot where the loud impact had happened. There was a small crack now, barely noticeable. But enough. He pushed the ladder into place, climbed up slowly, his heart pounding with every step. He pressed against the ceiling panel. It shifted, then gave way. Dust fell into his eyes as he pushed it open. A dark space stared back at him. Cold air rushed down, stronger than before. Kevin hesitated, then lifted himself up into the darkness. The air was thick, hard to breathe. His flashlight flickered as it adjusted to the darkness. The space was narrow, barely enough room to stand, but it stretched further than he expected. Like a hidden corridor above the apartments. Kevin took a step forward. The floor creaked. Then he heard it, footsteps ahead of him, slow, dragging. Kevin froze. "Hello?" he called out, no answer. Just silence, then a whisper from somewhere deeper in the space, too quiet to understand. Kevin swallowed hard. He should have left, but he didn't. He kept walking. The corridor ended abruptly. At a wall, but something was wrong. The wall wasn't solid. It looked patched together, like it had been built after the rest of the structure. Kevin stepped closer, shined his light across it, and that's when he saw it. Scratches, dozens of them, deep, desperate, like someone had tried to break through from the other side. Kevin's breathing became uneven. Then he heard it again, this time right behind him, a whisper, clear, close. "You found me!" Kevin spun around. The flashlight shook violently in his hand. There was nothing there, but the air felt different, like someone was standing inches away, watching him. Then the footsteps started, not ahead of him, not behind him, all around him. Rapid. Circling, impossible to track, Kevin panicked. He ran back toward the opening, the ladder, but when he reached it, it was gone. The ceiling panel was closed, completely sealed. Kevin stared at it in disbelief. "No, no, no," he slammed his fists against it. "Open," no response. Then the whisper came again, slower this time, closer than ever. "You weren't supposed to come up here." Kevin was found the next morning in his apartment, lying on the floor, unconscious. There was no sign of forced entry, no damage to the ceiling. No ladder, nothing, but Kevin refused to stay there. He moved out immediately, and before he left, he told the landlord one last thing. "There's someone still up there." The landlord didn't respond. He just nodded like he already knew. #Ghost Story 4. The recording that was never released, the school never talked about it. Officially, it never happened. But people who worked there knew the truth. There was a recording from a security camera, one that was never meant to be seen. It was taken at 3:07 a.m. inside a school hallway. Completely empty at first. The footage showed nothing unusual, just a long, silent corridor. Then a classroom door opened, slowly by itself. No one came out, it just stayed open. For almost a full minute. Then something moved inside. A shadow, but it didn't match the lighting. It moved against the direction of the light. Wrong, unnatural, then it stepped out. Partially visible, tall, too tall, its head almost touched the ceiling. It stood there, not moving, facing the camera. Then it tilted its head exactly 90 degrees, too precise, too mechanical. And then it started walking, straight toward the camera, frame by frame, step by step. It got closer and closer, until the entire screen was filled with darkness, then static. The recording ended, but not before one last thing appeared for a single frame. Clear, sharp, a face, not human, eyes too wide. Mouth stretched too far, smiling. The footage was deleted. Immediately, but one copy remained, saved accidentally by a technician. He watched it, once, then quit his job the next day. When someone asked him why, he said something that spread quickly among staff. "I saw it after the video ended." #Ghost Story 5. The empty call, it was 2:41 a.m. when Rachel's phone rang. Unknown number, she almost ignored it, but something made her answer. "Hello?" Silence at first, then breathing, slow, uneven. Rachel frowned. "Who is this?" No response, just breathing. Then a sound, faint, like movement, footsteps. Rachel sat up in bed, heart starting to race. "Stop calling me," she said, trying to sound confident. The breathing stopped, complete silence. For 3 seconds, then a voice, soft, distorted. "I'm not calling you." Rachel froze. "What?" The voice came again, clearer this time, closer. "You called me." Her blood ran cold. She slowly looked at her phone screen. The call was still active, but something was wrong. The number was hers, her own phone number, calling itself. Rachel hung up immediately, locked her phone. Turned on the lights. Nothing in the room, everything normal, until her phone rang again. Same number, her number. This time she didn't answer, but the voicemail came through, seconds later. She played it at first just static, then her own voice, crying, saying one sentence over and over. "Don't answer it next time." Rachel changed her number the next day. But sometimes she says her phone still rings at exactly 2:41 a.m. #ghost story 6. The last online message. Ethan loved late-night gaming. It was his routine every night. Headphones on. Lights off, just him and the screen. One night he received a message from a username he didn't recognize, no profile picture, no history. Just one line, "You left your door open." Ethan laughed, probably a troll. He typed back, "Nice try." Seconds later, another message, "I'm serious." Ethan rolled his eyes. Turned slightly in his chair, glanced toward his bedroom door, closed, locked. He smirked. "Wrong," he typed. The reply came instantly. "Then what's behind you?" Ethan's smile faded. Slowly, he turned around. The room was empty. He exhaled, nervous laugh. "Okay, that's creepy," he whispered. He turned back to the screen, another message. "You didn't look long enough." Ethan froze. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. Then he noticed something on his monitor, a reflection behind him, something standing there, too tall. Too still. Ethan turned again, fast, nothing, empty, completely empty. He grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, scanned the room, closet, corner, under the bed, nothing. When he looked back at his computer, there was one final message. "Too late." Ethan logged off immediately. The next day, his account was still online, active, playing for hours without him. #ghost story 7. The hallway that repeats. Some places don't let you leave. No matter how far you walk, no matter how fast you run. Jason found that out the hard way. He was staying late at work. Office building, almost empty. Around 11:30 p.m., he packed his things, walked toward the elevator, pressed the button. Nothing. "Great," he muttered, probably maintenance. So he took the stairs, down one floor, opened the door, stepped into the hallway, and stopped. It was the same hallway, same lights, same desk, same everything. Jason frowned. "No way." He went back to the stairs, down another floor, opened the door again. Same hallway, exactly the same. Now his heart started racing. He checked the floor number. It said 5. But he had started on 7. "That's not possible." He ran back to the stairs. Down 2 floors this time, burst through the door, same hallway, same number, 5 again. The lights flickered. Then a sound, footsteps behind him. Jason turned slowly. The hallway was empty, but the footsteps continued, getting closer. Then a voice from the far end, soft, echoing. "You missed your floor." Jason didn't wait. He ran down the hallway as fast as he could. The lights flickered faster, doors slammed shut around him, one by one. Until only one door remained open, at the end. Jason sprinted toward it and jumped through. He woke up, on the floor, in his office, morning light coming through the windows. Everything normal, everything quiet. Jason sat up slowly. Confused, was it a dream? It had to be, until he checked his phone. Dozens of missed calls from his boss, from coworkers. Time 8:47 a.m. Jason rushed outside, and that's when he realized the building had been closed overnight for renovations. No one was supposed to be inside at all. This is the story people don't like to tell, because it doesn't end, not really. A group of friends decided to explore an abandoned building. Late at night, cameras ready, flashlights on. They joked the entire time, until one of them said something strange. "Wait, weren't there 5 of us?" They laughed, counted again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. "Yeah, 5, someone said. "No, I thought it was 4. Silence. They looked at each other, confused, then one of them spoke. "Okay, that's not funny." They counted again, still 5, but something felt wrong, very wrong. "Say your names," one of them suggested. They went one by one, everyone spoke, except the last one, standing at the back, in the shadows. "Hey, what's your name?" someone asked, no answer. The flashlight beam shook as it moved toward him. And that's when they saw it, the face, too still, too blank, smiling, slowly. Then all the lights went out. The footage was found later. Dropped camera, shaky, dark. You could hear them running, screaming, until suddenly silence. Then a voice, calm, close to the camera. Now there are 7 stories. All real experiences, and none of them fully explained. So the question is, if something like this happened to you, would you tell anyone? Or would you stay silent like the others? If this gave you chills, comment asterisk. I'm not alone, asterisk backhand index pointing down, and don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying true stories every week.